Let's examine 5 meanings that people call marriages. And I'm going to start from the negative. What do you think about marriage? From a very deep place. What do you want to be sincere? And most of the people that I ask says, marriage will limit me. Is that familiar? Raise up your hands if you've heard that before. Is that not the predominant thought on social media? Is that not what people are pushing? That, hey, marriage limits people. See, I'm not saying that that's what they're saying is not true. But listen to me. So this is how it affects you. So in fact, a girl told me, say, you know, I'm just very careful about marriage because I don't want anyone to dominate me or tell me what I can do or what I can do. So in a way, marriage leads me. Watch this now. So in your mind, you've said marriage is a prison because that's what a prison is. It what? Limits people. As a single girl, how will you date? The reason why is that if it's time to take decision towards dating, your subconscious mind that controls you says marriage will limit you. So you will find yourself, although you want to marry, taking steps away from marriage because in your mind you say marriage will limit me. And that's why, have you noticed something? The most driven ladies are often very single. Yes or no? Because, listen, most of the driven ladies place high premium on career achievement, on wealth and success. And because they also may think sometimes marriage can limit them, so unconsciously to them, they want to marry, but they take steps away. They take steps away from marriage because in their mind, marriage limits me. And let me tell you something. If that's the way you feel, you'll gravitate towards what you feel. You know the people that drank? If I want to help them, if I want to destroy their mind right now, I just tell them, well, one of the things that was mixed with that drink was the what they call it, the dead skin of a snake. They will feel like throwing up. Although that's not true, but just because it's something I said that produced a feeling, they will respond to it. It's not as if they want to, they will just respond to it. One time, I ate something and someone said, well, just know you're eating snake. I said, see, before they told me I was okay, but the moment they told me I've eaten snake, I began to behave. The moment you know that you think that marriage limits you, you behave in a way that says, I don't want to be in limitation. And when those people get married, so let me give you how this works for those who are single. So when all the girls are dating, this guy comes up and says, I like you. And for some reason does something, say, I can't date him. Why? He will limit me. And meanwhile, sometimes, it's not as if the guy will limit them. Limits is just what? The frame or lens they see men from. They just see, it's a frame. So when they're at work, they don't see limitation. When someone wants to ask them out, they just put on that frame. He will limit me. And the frame affects how they see things. Question, what frame are you wearing for marriage and relationship that affects how you see things? Because everybody's wearing a frame. The second thing is this. What happens when they eventually get married? When they get married, every suggestion to prioritize the family, if they are women, I'm talking about women first, I'll come back to the men. Every suggestion to prioritize the family, be like, you want to take my career? You want to kill me? You're not my career woman. See, they cannot even process it emotionally because it's almost as if they're carrying like a fear, like a wound. If you touch it, they respond. And I say, that's not what I'm saying. They cannot even process logically because there's a fear there. The second thing is this. What about the man? This is what the men do. So you ask the men, hey, you're 35. Are you not going to get married? He said, no. I'm not going to get married yet. So I'm trying to get everything first before I can marry. Because in their mind, if I marry, I'll be distracted. Because that marriage is a big distraction. See, what I'm saying is this. This is what I'm saying. Have a look up here. You can be negative about marriage and have a positive marriage. Principle of life. Whatever negative is minus, anything minus multiplies becomes minus. So today, you think your husband is a problem. Today, you think the men are the problem. Today, you think your wife is a problem. Today, you think your mother is a problem. You think money is a problem. The question is that, are you sure you are not the one that is seeing life the way it is? So because of exactly how you feel. And that's why I say, what meaning are you giving to it? How does meaning come? Meaning comes from the things we hear and see. So you hear about this huge divorce on social media. You hear about this. I read about some news about some guy that it's all over trending right now. You hear about this news. And so there are single people. I mean, there's a single lady that we're talking about, like, marriage. Hey, I'm very careful. I don't even want someone to just be telling me nonsense. I say, why does, see, the feeling, it's not even even what you want. Why is the feeling that someone will be telling you nonsense? Why is that the first thing that comes to your mind? Meanwhile, God says two are better than one. How come you don't think that way? Has marriage limited some people? Of course, yes. But the question is this. Listen to me. If you want to succeed in business, you don't pay attention to all those that their businesses failed. And when you pay attention to them, you don't pay attention to them to learn their failure, to become a failure. You pay attention to what? To learn and overcome. But you are absorbing so much information from negative people. You become negative, but you want a positive marriage. You can be negative on the inside and get a positive marriage. You can be negative on the inside and get a positive marriage. The second people why people marry. And this is the second feeling. It's a question, what does it mean? Let me give you my personal story. And I remember when I was getting close to getting married, one of the simple things God told me was this. And it's amazing because many of you are praying for God to tell you to help your marriage, but God is giving you instructions, but you're not following them. And God told me, he said, this person is a close family friend. Go and stay with him and see how a normal family works. Because there's a mental picture you have of marriage. For some people, it will limit me. The second people, marriage is necessary evil. What's necessary evil? The next thing to do is to marry. I know it's not a great thing. And this is why this generation is fighting it. They say, marriage is not necessary. Because he's like, why are you not married? The next thing to do is to marry. The next thing to do is to marry. I know it's a great thing. The next thing. So it's like a box I want to think. It's like a box I want to think. Everybody, why not? Everybody's going to, let's just tick the box. I need to hurt me, but let's just tick the box. And listen to me. Just the moment that lady knew that what she was drinking, what she drank first, was an African bitter concoction, she was careful about it. The moment you think that marriage is necessarily evil, what do? You're going to be careful. You're going to behave in a way that way. It will even affect who you want to marry. So you say, what do you want from this marriage? I don't know. Just let's marry. That's the face of life. So you hear people say that, when I get to 34, when I finish this and this and this, I'll marry here. I will marry. I'll start looking for a boyfriend, I'll marry here. When they say things like that, I'm like, really, you're so powerful. You mean you can control the other person and they will be waiting for you all their lives, or they'll put their life on the pause and just enter inside. I'll marry here. But because in your life, it's just a face. And that's why you notice a lot of people get married, but don't know why they want to marry. That's the truth. A lot of people are married, but they don't know why they're married. You know why? Ever look up here. Nothing sustains a marriage like when you have a vision, tattoo a vision about your marriage. I'm telling you. Because when everything breaks apart, you remember your vision and you stay together. When you don't have a bigger vision, you can always divorce next tomorrow. What does this mean to you? So I went to live with my family friend, and one of the shockers I got is this. So because I didn't come I was raised by a single mom, although my parents were not separated. But my parents lived apart because my family was polygamous. So in my life till I died, I've never really seen my father give my mother money for anything before. As a matter of fact, my mom paid my school fees for a part of my life. Until my father felt, okay, I should be doing that. I went to stay with my family friends, and within the first 1 month of staying with them, the lady works in the bank, the husband also works in the bank, the husband is more senior. And when I stayed with them, the lady just came to the sitting room where I was just with the guy, and we just laid on his head and said, well, I'm going to make my hair, you have to pay for it. And the guy just counted like maybe 40,000 and said, go and make your hair. I said, Hey? Let me tell you something. What you think your partner is doing to you intentionally, he might just not know he's meant to do it. That's one. Then two, he may know he should do it, but because he's not being trained to do it, that is not his first perspective. He's going to drift towards the second perspective. I was shocked. I said, hey, why is he giving that money to make the hair? She's a banker, she makes a lot of money. Almost a manager in a bank. But because I haven't seen it, it was not real to me. So some of you, you think your partner is asking for too much. It's because they've not just seen it. And that's why I said, what does marriage mean to you? Totally, you know what marriage means to people? Some people, children. So as soon as they have children, you can go your way, I can go my way. Because the marriage is actually just about what? Expansion. Biological expansion. What does marriage mean to you? Some people, marriage means pain. I spoke to a guy last week and I said, why don't you want to marry? He said, because of my parents. I said, what happened to your parents? He said, their marriage was just pain. That marriage was just wrong. See, when you grow up in a marriage that you know that you see as pain, although you don't want pain, but because you see marriage as pain, you saw how your mother was mistreated, you saw how your father left, you saw what your mother did, you saw all those things. Subconsciously, what happens? It will affect the way. And when you see people, singles are delayed, when you begin to have conversations with them, these are some of the reading. You meet some ladies, they are just so strong to date. You ask the girl, let's go out. Yeah, let's go out, yeah. We'll go out at 3 o'clock. You'll pick me up here, this and this and this. Don't worry, I'll call the car for the two of us. We'll take us there. You see, you're meant to be a lady. You should not be doing that. Oh, I grew up in a family where our father left. I learned to stand for myself so that no man can mess me up. So that's the way why I am the way I am. The challenge is this, because this is the way you've defined marriage as pain. You will always have pain, because Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. I was shocked that my friend would give his wife money. That was when I learned for the first time, give your wife money. Because I had to, see, if your marriage is going to change, forget all the things you have to do. Nonsense. Not at the first level. The first thing you have to do is this, is to begin to change the way you think about your marriage and the way you feel about your marriage. See, it's the way you think about your marriage, the way you what? Write down. All of you online, you have to participate. You have to change the way you, if you're going to start dating and break that single thing and delay, you're going to change the way you think about marriage, the way you feel about your marriage, and the way you think and feel about your partner. There are men that once their wife comes in, they say, that means Ijogmode. Ijogmode is my local language. It means trouble has landed. There are some men that once they show up, they say, hey, Oga means that terror has entered. See, the moment you see him as terror, what do you receive? Terror. You would not wonder, how come that man plays with everybody outside the house, but he doesn't play with us at home? Because what you see is terror. So it's the lens in which you see your husband. It's the lens in which you see your wife. So, and the reason why you feel that way, you're not crazy. The reason why you feel that way is that there are evidences that proves that this guy could be terror, but it's not terror 24/7. The other people that see him as playful, see the playful side of him. What you have to do is to take up the lens in which you look at your marriage. Take up the lens in which you look at dating. Take up the lens in which you look at men and women, your husband and your wife. Change the lens. Move from this dark, wicked, selfish, biased lens, and change to what? Change to this lens, the way God sees it. Once you change the lens, you change what you see. When I wear this lens, you guys look darker. Are you guys darker? No, it's the lens I'm wearing. When I wear this lens, you guys look brighter. Are you brighter? No, it's the lens I'm wearing. If I change to a Converse lens, you guys look bigger. Are you bigger? No, it's the lens I'm wearing. Question, what lens are you looking at marriage through? This is why this will be the best relationship series for you. Because it's not focused on do this, do that, do that, do that. Question, you can't do what you're not convinced of. That's why when you sit down with couples and you tell them, okay, so do 1, 2, 3, 4, do 4, 5, 6, give them 3 months. They return back to what? Status quo. The husband will even do what you say he should do. The wife will interpret it negatively. So the wife has not been cooking. So the wife now changes, now cooks. Hey, this food, hope I'm not poisoned. Because this is, listen to me, it's amazing. Because Jesus already said this all along. Jesus Christ says that the problem with the Pharisees and Sadducees is that they want someone to change externally without changing what internally. He said that like a tomb. The tomb, you can paint a tomb from the inside, but the inside of the tomb is what? Is rotten. You can paint the tomb from the outside, but the inside of the tomb is rotten. So when most of us want to fix people that are delayed, single ladies, single guys, we tell them that, you are single. It's because you don't know people. Let me make you meet people. Just wear booktube, wear miniskirt. Just be shaking like shake. He said, you will find people. Hey, let me connect you. You connect them, everything breaks apart because you don't fix a problem from the outside. You fix it first from the inside. And this is the reason why a lot of marital problems are not working. The solutions are not working because people are trying to fix the marriage first from the outside instead of it from the inside. How do you change your marriage? So you want to say, how do I feel? Why? If I feel marriage is pain, my automatic response is what? Is to arm myself and be defensive. If I see marriage as limitation, I become a Nelson Mandela, a freedom fighter. Hey. Free Mandela, free Shinene, hey, free Shinene. If I feel, I see marriage is a necessary evil, I'm not looking for someone to love as a single person. I'm looking for as an item to add to my life because that's the phase of life I'm in. The way you see marriage is going to determine your response. You know the last thing? If I think that marriage is just a place for total peace, or marriage is a place for escape, most of you don't like, you want to escape through marriage. That's why, have you noticed when you marry, you don't like to argue with your wife or talk things out with your husband? Because your mind, no, we shouldn't. A marriage is not a place where you talk things out with people. It's a place of perfect harmony. Oh, baby, I love you. Oh, sugar, I love you. Oh. Listen to me, because it's your way. So all the family problems you have, all the problem you have with your relationship, you hope by marrying you will find this person that you never fight with, this person that understands you totally, this person that will love you regardless of who you are. If your mother cannot love you that way, you mean a man or a woman will love you that way? Stop deceiving yourself. And that's why most people enter into marriage looking for love. I'm going to talk about that. We don't enter marriage looking for love. You enter marriage coming with love. You know why? And I'm saying so because that's how I believe marriage was an escape. I didn't even foresee my marriage, we arguing. So for the first month and year in my marriage, when my wife is talking and arguing, I'm exhausted. I don't want to talk. Because I'm like, this is not what marriage should be. See, you don't understand. I'm the guy that fasted like 21 days to get married. Like, Lord Jesus. Because I thought that if I can find the will of God, you know the will of God? That perfect marriage. Strong marriages know that the strength of a marriage is not really based on who you marry. It's what you do in your marriage. Weak marriages think the strength of marriage is based on who you marry. And that's why people that marry the first time and divorce, marry the second time. By the time they divorce the first time, the second time they marry, their probability of getting divorced is at 75%. Because they keep thinking changing the person. You don't change an external problem. Of course, some reasons you have to change, but not all. If you're divorced, have you sat down and asked yourself, what is it about me? Because I don't want to carry that thing into the next relationship. So, escape. So when my wife will engage me and talk to me and engage me and talk to me, I don't have to say, because in my marriage is not a place you can argue. It's a place where you be like, do you want to jump? Yes. How high? Everything should be yes. How high? Yes. Because I had this false, because after having gone through all those rejection in my family, I thought that this was a place of total acceptance. I didn't understand. If you feel rejected as a single person, when you feel married, you also feel what? Rejected. And I couldn't talk, and that not talking made our relationship just break apart. Until I learned that in love, you have conversation. A lot of conversation. A lot of conversation. Let me close with this. To disobey is like rebellion. Stubbornness is as a sin of idolatry and witchcraft. Are you going to begin to make amendments today? Or you're going to hear this thing and say, oh, wow, that was a good sermon. That's it. Or you're going to give excuses why it doesn't apply to you. I know you are from Mars, you're not from Earth. Or you're going to pause and say, I'm going to go back and watch this thing. Get my partner to watch, get my friends to watch. Share with your friends, all of you that are watching, share with all your friends on social media. I said, they need to watch this. And I'm going to create a plan to change how I feel about marriage. Let's pray.